Mazumdar, All India Rank 80 in UPSC Civil Service 2019. This was my third attempt and I chose anthropology as my optional subject. In my opinion, preliminary stage is one of the most critical and most vital stages of this UPSC cycle. Now there are two categories of people who take the preliminary stage. First category is that who never fail prelims. वो कभी fail हुए ही नहीं, चाहे वो first attempt में हो चाहे second attempt, कभी fail ही नहीं हुए. There is yet another category of students who failed at least once, say in their first attempt or 2 times or 3 times or multiple times. Now what makes preliminary the most difficult stage is about 5 to 6 lakh candidates appear for this exam every year and only about 10,000 candidates qualify the preliminary stage to be able to write the mains examination. Now for the first category of students who have never failed in this stage, for them probably about 1 to 2 months of preparation may be sufficient to crack this stage. But coming to the second category of candidates, this is a very dangerous category. They must not take preliminary stage lightly at all, and a clear headed strategy and a focused 4 to 5 month strategy and concerted effort dedicated only to the preliminary stage is very essential to crack this stage. Now there are people who say that prelims can never make you an IAS officer. They are true, but in my opinion prelims can definitely prevent you from becoming an IAS officer. So don't take preliminary stage lightly and dedicate all the effort and time that is required to clear this stage. Now with the preliminary stage scheduled for 27th of June, I think we have a good 4 months to create our strategy. If you have not created one already, and if you have already have an existing strategy in mind, you can still fine tune it to have a very good cost benefit ratio. So today in this video I'll discuss my preliminary strategy and I hope the aspirants will be able to benefit out of it. A brief overview about the preliminary stage of the exam. It comprises of 2 papers. The GS paper 1 and the GS paper 2. The GS paper 1 comprises of subjects like history, geography, polity, science and technology and current issues. The GS paper 2, which is called the CSAT paper popularly, comprises of quantitative aptitude, the logical reasoning part and the English comprehension part. Now talking about the cutoffs in the GS paper 1, if we analyze the cutoffs of the last 4 to 5 years, in 2016 the cutoff was around 116, the 2017 cutoff was 105.67, in 2018 and 19 the cutoff dropped to 98 marks. So if we have to create a safe score, a score of 110 plus would keep you in a very safe zone, so that after writing prelims you are relaxed and you take a day or 2 off and come back for mains preparation in a mission mode. Talking about the cutoffs in the CSAT paper, it is qualifying in nature and you just need to score 67 marks to clear the paper. However, do not take CSAT lightly, given the fact that in the recent few years, people even from mathematics background failed to qualify the preliminary stage because of CSAT paper and not because of GS paper 1. So now that we are left with only about 4 months for the prelims and it is scheduled for 27th June, we have to proceed with a very clear strategy in mind. My first advice for the aspirants would be in the next 4 months, plan for about 5 to 6 revisions of the full syllabus along with giving adequate number of tests. My second suggestion for you all would be to focus on the core subjects or the pillar subjects, which comprises of history, polity, geography, economy and environment, and apart from that you have to cover current affairs of the last 12 months. My third suggestion would be to limit your resources. I am sure by now all the aspirants would know which books to read, which books to not read and so on. Here the point of parity concept holds very important. This what do I mean by point of parity? हमें वो books कभी नहीं छोड़ना है जो और लोगों ने पढ़ा है. For example, coming to polity, Lakshmikant is considered to be the Bible of UPSC exam or polity as a subject. So वो book अगर किसी ने छोड़ दिया या नहीं पढ़ा है या adequate number of times नहीं पढ़ा है, तो he or she is already out of the race even before taking the exam. On the other hand, if we talk about a book called डी डी बासु, वो बुक 1% जनता ने पढ़ी होगी, वो बुक अब आप नहीं भी पढ़ोगे तो काम चल जाएगा. So I would emphasize a lot on the fact that limit your resources and read and reread and re-revise all those limited resources only. Because अभी time नहीं है कि आप secondary resources like डी डी बासु and so on पे time waste करो. I am sure you would be knowing, you would already have a book list in mind, but I would share my strategy, which books I have followed and what were my resources for the 5 core subjects. First, we will take up polity. The static part I have covered it from Lakshmikant, cover to cover. I have not made notes of that book because I felt that is itself a note, and making notes would be repetitive and redundant in nature. I cannot cover each and every line. Second part is the current affairs part of polity. I have covered from the newspapers, The Hindu and Indian Express, and apart from that I have also read the monthly magazines which are available in the market. In this regard, the Educemi daily newsletter also is very handy. Coming to the second pillar subject or the core subject, geography, I have covered the geography from a book called G.C. Leong and also the 4 NCERTs of class 11th and 12th. Coming to the next subject, economy, I have covered the static part from Shriram IAS book, but you can also refer to any other book that you deem fit. And understanding the concepts is more important than reading any book. If you are clear with the concepts, you may proceed even without reading any book. About the current affairs in economy, I have covered it from the daily newspapers and monthly magazines. Next subject is history, which again is a mix of ancient history, medieval, modern and art and culture. For ancient and medieval history, I have covered it from the old NCERTs. For the modern history part, I have covered it from Spectrum by Rajiv Ahir. For the ancient art and culture part, I have referred to a book called Art and Culture by Nitin Singhania and the Fine Arts book of class 11th. Coming to the next subject, environment, I have covered it from Shankar IAS, the static part, and the current affairs part I have covered it from the newspapers and the monthly magazines. So after talking about the core subjects or the pillar subjects, let's move on to the next vital part, which is the current affairs. People are often confused which newspapers to cover and how to cover, whether to make notes or not. So my personal strategy was to read newspapers every day to cover the current issues, but I never made notes out of it from the point of view of prelims, because in the last 1 month it is becomes nearly impossible to revise those notes. They become very bulky and it is not practical to revise those notes. So the best idea is to read newspapers thoroughly every day and cover the current issues from monthly magazines which give you current issues in a very consolidated form. Apart from that, you can also take help from the newsletters which many institutes provide, and also some small questions which are provided daily by some institutes. This will help you not only to consolidate the current issues, but also assess yourself on a day-to-day basis with respect to current affairs. Now moving on to the test series part. Once you have read all the core subjects and also the current issues, now comes the question how you will assess yourself, how you will judge yourself if you have consolidated adequately or not, if you are able to apply the concepts and answer the questions correctly in the paper or not. So test series is one very important and critical part to crack this preliminary stage. So my suggestion here would be to take tests very generously. Don't put a cap to the number of tests that you are going to write. Ultimately what matters is the confidence. Till the point you are confident, take tests, be it sectional tests or be it comprehensive tests. I would advise, first, once you have read a particular subject, say polity, go ahead and attempt sectional tests till the point you are confident. Once you are confident in the sectional part and you are scoring decently in the sectionals, move forward and attempt the comprehensive tests. This way you will consolidate each of the core subject very reasonably. Next point that I want to emphasize in terms of test series is that please go and take tests in classroom environment and try to avoid taking online tests. Why I am saying this is because the actual preliminary exam that we are taking is going to be a physical one and pen and paper based exam, wherein you are required to bubble the OMR sheet manually. So taking online exams does not serve the purpose. What happens is, if you keep practicing online tests and on the actual day of prelims you are required to fill bubbles on OMR sheet, sometimes you get negative markings due to human error. A mark करते टाइम आप B मार्क कर देते हो, एक ही क्वेश्चन में 2 बबल भर देते हो, वगैरह वगैरह. In such a competitive exam we cannot afford to do things like this. The next very important point that I want to emphasize in test series is that be very harsh with regard to time implementation. अगर आपका एक्चुअल प्रिलिमिनरी एग्ज़ाम 2 घंटे का है, while taking the test series you should try कि आपके 100 क्वेश्चंस 1.5 घंटे में ख़त्म हो जाए. सो टेक टेस्ट्स इन अ वेरी टाइम बाउंड मैनर एंड इन एग्जाम एनवायरनमेंट प्रेफरेबली. अभी इन द पैंडमिक टाइम्स इट इज़ डिफ़िकल्ट टू गेट क्लासरूम टेस्ट सीरीज, बट यू कैन ऑलवेज गो टू द मार्केट, टेक अ टेस्ट कॉपी पेपर एंड टेक ज़ेरॉक्स ऑफ द OMR शीट. आप अपने घर पे या लाइब्रेरी में बैठ के सॉल्व कर सकते हो इन अ टाइम बाउंड मैनर. Now talking about how to divide these 4 months and what to study at what point of time is a very key question in the minds of the aspirants. My suggestion here is that we can divide the 4 months time into 3 months plus 1 month. In the first 3 months again you divide the timeline into 1 month each. आप पहले month में ऐसा कर सकते हैं कि 20 डेज़ में जो कोर सब्जेक्ट्स है 5 वो कवर कर सकते हैं, रीड, रिवाइज एंड री रिवाइज, एंड रिमेनिंग 10 डेज़ में आप करंट अफेयर्स ऑफ लास्ट 12 मंथ्स को रीड, रिवाइज एंड री रिवाइज कर सकते हैं. दिस वे इन अ मंथ्स टाइम you are revising the static part also, you are revising the current affairs also, and take 1 test every day if possible. So at the end of a month आपने तीनों चीज़ें कवर कर लिया, स्टैटिक भी, करंट इशू भी एंड टेस्ट भी. रिपीट दिस फॉर द नेक्स्ट 3 months. मंथ 1 में सेम, मंथ 2 में सेम, मंथ 3 में सेम. नाउ वी आर लेफ्ट विथ ओनली 1 month फॉर द प्रीलिम्स. अभी क्या करना है? Last 1 month में you can plan for around 2 revisions if possible. I know it is ambitious, but because you have revised it 3 times already, so the time of revision is going to reduce significantly. So last 1 month में you can revise the static part, the current issues and the tests that you have already taken in the first 3 months. उनको रिवाइज कीजिए. अब रिविजन ऑफ द टेस्ट दैट यू हैव ऑलरेडी टेकन कैन बी डन इन 2 ways. कुछ लोग हैं जो वही टेस्ट्स को फिर से रीडू करते हैं इन अ शॉर्टर पीरियड ऑफ टाइम. फॉर एग्जांपल, अगर आपने एक टेस्ट पहले 1.5 घंटे में दिया था, नाउ द टाइम शुड रिड्यूस एंड यू शुड सॉल्व द पेपर इन से 45 minutes. दिस इज़ अ वेरी गुड एंड इफेक्टिव वे टू रिवाइज द टेस्ट्स. द सेकेंड मेथड विच इज़ मोर पॉपुलर एक्चुअली is that when you are taking the tests, there are say around 30 to 40 questions जहाँ आपने या तो कोई गलती की होगी या फिर आपने वो attempt नहीं किया होगा because you found that to be tough. So what you can do is you can make very short notes of those questions and in the last month you can revise those tests. So this is a very good and effective way how to utilize the next 4 months to the preliminary stage. Now the next question that comes to the mind of the aspirants is that how many questions are to be attempted in the preliminary exam. So the preliminary exam being MCQ, multiple choice question based, the accuracy is often low. If we categorize the paper, we have a static part and we have a current affairs part. In the static part, which comprises of the core subjects history, polity, economy, environment and geography, the static part or the core part has a very low tolerance to errors and negative markings. So you should prepare the static part in such a way so thoroughly that you do not make mistakes at all, or if at all you are making mistakes, the number of mistakes should not exceed 10%. If you see the trend of the questions in the last 5 to 10 years, you would see that around 50 questions come from the static part. So, the maximum number of mistakes that you can afford is about 5 questions. If you exceed that number, you are out of the race. The next part is the current affairs part. This is a very uncertain area and people often make more number of mistakes in this area. The accuracy rate goes down drastically. So, to ensure a score in a safe zone, which we have already discussed as 110 plus, we have to attempt around 90 plus questions. Otherwise, it becomes difficult. This is considering the level of accuracy to be average or so. If you have a very excellent accuracy rate, then you can also attempt less than 90 marks and crack this exam. The next question that comes to the mind of the aspirants is that how to handle the pressure in the 2 hours time. So, the answer is that you practice so thoroughly and so harshly that on the day of exam it looks like a cakewalk to you. Now, coming to the 2 hours of the exam, you have to complete 3 iterations of the GS paper 1 in a time span of 2 hours. You can divide it in the following way. The first iteration has to be completed by 50 minutes at max, and in the second iteration should be completed in around 40 minutes. The third iteration should be completed in around 20 minutes. After that, you are left with 10 minutes buffer time. So, what you are expected to do in the first iteration is that you mark the sure shot questions which are quite easy. In the second iteration, you have to solve those questions where you have already eliminated 2 options and now you are left with 2 options and you have to select one out of those 2. In the third iteration, you have to solve those questions wherein you have eliminated only one option. So, this is how you should tackle the questions in the 2 hours. Apart from the core subjects, the current affairs, taking the test series and all of that, what is also very important is analysis of the previous year questions of UPSC. For example, an aspirant must analyze the last 5 to 10 years of questions, what sort of questions they are asking and what is the weightage of the static part, what is the weightage of the current affairs part and all of that. And there is one other aspect to it. Only knowledge and content may not ensure that you are in a safe zone of 110 plus marks. For that, there are some tricks to be applied to the questions, and even without having adequate knowledge and content, you would be able to solve a particular question by applying some tricks. We will be having a separate discussion on tricks and tips and how to solve such tricky questions even without having knowledge. We will take it up in a separate video. Now, talking about the strategy for GS paper 2 or the CSAT, we will cover it in deeper length in a separate video. Now, just to touch upon the CSAT strategy, I would begin by saying that it is a very ignored area because the more focus is always around the GS paper 1. The CSAT paper comprises of around 80 questions of 2.5 marks each, and it is qualifying in nature. The cutoff is around 67 marks. Around 20 to 25 questions come from the English or comprehension section, and about 50-55 questions come from the quant and logical reasoning part. What happens is, in the last few years we have seen an increasing trend that people from both mathematics background and non-mathematics background are facing a lot of difficulty, and people are not able to clear the preliminary stage because of CSAT paper and not because of the GS paper 1. So, one must not take CSAT lightly. If I have to give a few points in suggestion, the first one would be to identify which area is your strong area among the quantitative aptitude, logical reasoning and English comprehension. So, for my case it was quantitative aptitude, so I would give more time and I would always begin the paper by attempting quant, followed by logical reasoning and thirdly the English or comprehension. So do accordingly, identify your strong area and give more time to that, and also start your paper with that strong area. Now coming to the quantitative part, don't cram too many formulae, just have basic formulae on your mind. And coming to the logical reasoning part, attempt those questions first wherein you are comfortable, the easy ones and the low hanging fruits. Always avoid the complicated ones, because once you are stuck there, you might be trapped badly and you would lose a lot of time. Coming to the English and comprehension passage, you select those passages and those questions wherein by reading one passage you are able to solve more number of questions. So that's the whole idea of CSAT. We will cover it in detail in a separate video. I would conclude this video with a very small piece of advice. Imagine a pyramid with 5 layers. The base of the pyramid is knowledge, above it is intelligent guesswork, the third layer is time management, the fourth layer is emotional and mental makeup and confidence level before the exam, and the tip of the pyramid or the topmost layer is luck. So what happens is, when all these 5 factors or the 5 layers align with you and in your favor, you clear this stage, or for that matter this entire cycle of exam. But often what happens is, we as aspirants have a tendency to blame the 5th factor or the tip of the pyramid, that is luck, without taking into consideration the 4 other factors, whether there was any loophole in those 4 factors or not. So my suggestion is, take a pause and just check if there is any problem with any of the 4 factors apart from luck. These 4 factors are well within our control and we can incrementally improvise upon each of these. We will take it up one by one very briefly. First, the base of the pyramid, which is knowledge. अगर आपका क्लियर नहीं हो रहा है, जस्ट गो बैक एंड थिंक, क्या आपने वो कोर सब्जेक्ट्स जो 5 पिलर सब्जेक्ट्स है उनको एडिक्वेटली पढ़ा था, 5 से 10 रीडिंग हर बुक की थी, रिवाइज एंड री रिवाइज किया था कि नहीं. जस्ट गो बैक एंड आस्क दीज बेसिक क्वेश्चंस. इफ़ यू हैव क्लियर्ड एंड इफ़ यू हैव नॉट रेड 5 टाइम्स, देन कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. बट अगर आपने नहीं क्लियर किया है और आपने 5 टाइम्स पढ़ा भी नहीं है, देन यू हैव नो राइट टू ब्लेम लक एज अ फैक्टर कि आपने लक की वजह से क्लियर नहीं किया है. इट माइट साउंड हार्श बट दैट इज़ हाउ इट इज़. कमिंग टू द सेकेंड फैक्टर विच इज़ इंटेलिजेंट गेस वर्क. नॉलेज ठीक है, दैट इज़ नेसेसरी, बट इट मे नॉट बी सफिशिएंट टू क्लियर दिस competitive exam, particularly the prelim stage where around 5-6 lakhs appear every year. तो आपको इंटेलिजेंट गेस वर्क का हेल्प लेना ही पड़ेगा. Many times you would have realized that you have eliminated 2 options very easily and you have to select one out of the 2 left. How will you do that? अगर आप प्राइमा फेसी देखो तो आपको लगेगा कि बाकी जो 2 ऑप्शंस है उनका वेटेज 50-50 है, बट अगर आप गौर से देखोगे, क्लोजली देखोगे, यू वुड रियलाइज applying common sense that the weightage is always 60-40 or 70-30, it is never 50-50. तो आपको देखने की ज़रूरत है गौर से, and you will be able to eliminate one option and choose the correct answer. The third factor is effective time management. I have already said earlier that set small targets, reasonable targets, and achieve those targets on a day-to-day basis, weekly basis, monthly basis and so on. Apart from that, time management is also very important in test series. Be very harsh on implementation. 2 घंटे का पेपर आप 1.5 घंटे में कीजिए, and also during the 2 hours आप ये ensure कीजिए कि you are taking 3 iterations of the entire paper or maybe more, around 50 minutes for the first iteration, 40 for the second and 30 for the third. Apart from that you will be left with 30 for the third iteration. Apart from that you will be left with 10 minutes as buffer time. कमिंग टू द फोर्थ फैक्टर विच इज़ कॉन्फिडेंस और मेंटल मेकअप, आपने इतना पढ़ लिया होगा, बी कॉन्फिडेंट, बी हैप्पी एंड चेयरफुल बिफोर द एग्ज़ाम, ज़्यादा लोड मत लीजिए एंड जस्ट टेल योर सेल्फ कि मैंने इतना पढ़ा है, मेरा नहीं होगा तो किसका होगा. दिस इज़ वेरी वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट in the last lap of preparation, particularly in the last few days and last few weeks of preparation. And trust me, if you have these 4 factors by your side, if these are under your control, luck I am sure will be by your side. Finally, I would say that if a proper guidance, if a complete package of say day-to-day guidance in terms of GS paper 1 and CSAT is available with any of the institutes, go back and go and join that institute, चाहे वो कोई भी institute हो. उससे क्या होता है, एक गाइडेंस मिल जाता है, एक पाथ मिल जाता है, एक मेंटरशिप मिल जाता है, जिससे आपका जो साइकिल टाइम है, प्रिपरेशन जर्नी है, वो थोड़ा स्मूथ होता है एंड यू माइट रिक्वायर लेसर टाइम टू क्लियर दिस एग्ज़ाम.